Welcome everyone to this very special test match between Australia and the World 13. I'm Ollie Parcher, back from a long break here to commentate this beautiful game alongside Luke Driscoll and Luke Short sideline. For Lukes and Lukes, I'll need to make sure that I distinguish the two. Driscoll, what do you expect from these sides being let out here?
Oh, look, this game should be shaping up to be a really good one. I think both teams are evenly matched, and judging by the team list, it's certainly going to be a fantastic game.
Yep, absolutely. Of course, both of these teams, representative sides, very experienced, but may not have had as much time to gel together as they would have liked. Of course, new half John Baker's here. Someone that has been a great up-and-comer in the SRL. Ready to get ourselves underway here. We get things started. Luke Thompson to receive it, and it's Mason Ramey to run this one up. Of course, all of these players here are from... the World of 13, rather, are from miscellaneous nations outside of Europe. There's Jacob Morrison. We do know Mika Rashford, of course, representing the country of Zambia. You know, I believe the only player representing an African nation as well, so we'll be very happy to get some representative football in here. Thompson will spread it out wide here. They get a nice little break going. Mansour, a good stop, though. Good run there from aforementioned Mika Rashford. Saddle carded of a dummy half. We'll get it out to Raymond, who will provide that support, and Ramey will take it on the last here. A look to their right side with Thompson, and he puts in the left boot. Taken well there by Justin Place, former Broncos captain, making a run down the edge and nearly got through the fullback. That's some good coverage defense there. Was able to stop that one in their tracks. Here goes Kane Nilsson right through a gap. Kane Nilsson does have what I believe to be Scottish heritage, but is representing Australia as a secondary and has still gotten the nod for this one. Here goes Bakers as the defense was expecting a pass there. Bakers takes the run on himself. Australia a Somalia advantage. Lee will provide the dummy half support. McKinnon out to Oshiole. And they'll move into the World 13's red zone. Looking to center it up for Nilsson. Some options on where they want to go here on the last tackle. Bakers will elect for the bomb here. Morrison looking to be camping underneath it and does take it cleanly. Did leap from the end goal, and that'll provide a 20-meter restart. And a bit of a let-off there of World 13 surviving.
Yeah, it's a great defensive set at the back end of that. Certainly the A's certainly put a lot of pressure onto the World 13 team, and hopefully we get to hear from Luke Short, who spoke to the captains before the game. Luke, what did they say?
Yeah, both captains just wanted to make sure that they're going to complete their stats in this. They know that they've had very little time to sort of train together as a team, so they just need to make sure that they're following each other up on any line breaks.
Yeah, did just that there. Rex Slattery there going right through, nearly into the red zone themselves. Here goes Logan Guys. Is pushing up just about to the 10. Look right edge with Thompson. Thompson takes the run himself, but takes him out of the play by taking the run on himself. Raymond fires to Windmill Skeed, then across to Guys. Tertiary kicking option is the one they go to, but it's well placed. Only taken there by Riley Flynn, and just about escaping up to his 20. They try to get a good post-kick run. Here goes Alex Chapman, of course, does have the older relative, Kane Chapman-Kenny, representing the full Australia side. Let's leave there. Oh, gets a penalty there with a good dummy half pass. Marker was not square, and Kodar Diab forced the issue. A big penalty given away. Australia with a good advantage.
Yeah, and Kodar Diab obviously stand out for the Knights. I guess a good suggestion would be the halves that played for Parramatta in the second half of that season certainly spurred on Parramatta into that final push for the top 8, which they just fell short of.
Yeah, I mean, we were expecting them to kind of fall apart in that earlier season, but did end up recovering themselves into a playoff push, or finals push rather. Still got a bit of American-sided brain there. Here goes Australia with their red zone attack. Allison just had to claim it after it bounced off his chest. Didn't touch anyone else though, so no knock on. Nielsen will look to Justin plays. It's by Rashford and right through into the corner. And that'll be the first try for Australia A. It's a big one there as he just gets over, got through a gap. And yeah, I mean, there was no reason to not award that one. Not sure why we decided to go upstairs here, but very safely in.
Maybe the slight ball bobble as he landed, but certainly a try. The forwards really did create that space on the left edge there, and it was exploited by the Australia A's team as they scored the first points.
Yep, and really that came from the penalty that Diab was able to earn from them, as here's Bakers to attempt this conversion. Will be a very difficult one. Going to have to swing this one right to left with the wind, and it's just not going to come back. But still, early 4 points and an early lead for Australia.
Hey, Luke, what's it like down on the sidelines right now?
Yeah, as we just heard Passe talk about the wind, there is a bit of a breeze down on ground level. The field is a bit dewy, but we've got a nice cold, crisp evening night here.
Yeah, it is a lovely evening here at Eden Park. Of course, a bit of a neutral ground due to us having... Ooh, there's a bit of a bad pass there from Mansour, but Allison's still able to scoop it. As stated, Eden Park being a neutral ground here, of course. And we'll play host to a few other matches, I'm sure, in the future, of course. This being the curtain raiser for the Kangaroos and Kiwis game. Oh, we'll see the great talents of Chaz Dingo and James Vaughan go up against the likes of Jai McCartney, Chance Bunce. There's so much talent in that squad. As here, an early kicking option from Bakers, but that's way too far to the left. And that's going to mean a play the ball well inside Australia A territory.
Yeah, they've just invited the World 13 back into this game after that kick. It was a absolute shocker. It went nowhere near where it needed to, and now we're going to see a great attack from the World 13.
Yep, and I go to Rashford early on. The man who was targeting, trying to make sure that he was playing back to try and defend the 40-20. There's a shot laid on of Callum Murray, but held the ball on that occasion. Here goes Thompson up, and I like this play here on play 3. You don't want to get him involved on play 5 and make him not a kicking option. That could have led to not scoring that try early on. Here goes Windmill Skeed. They use the halves here on plays 3 and 4. They'll look to the left side here with Iron. Quickly out to Tallis Riff, but Riff is swarmed. He's tackled 5 short of the line. Probably look for, I would say, a bomb right side here with Windmill Skeed. He does get it, but it's not as far right as he would have liked. And that means plays can come over easily and get underneath it. Survives the onslaught at least for the time being. Let's see how they can do escaping out of their own territory. They go to Diab, but Diab is quickly forced back there. Good challenge there from the number 11 of the world in Tallis Riff. Here goes Riley Murray, the captain of this Australia A squad. Tries to take one up, and they don't challenge the marker that time around. Alex Chapman just had to reach that ball behind him. But well taken down there by Saddle Cart along with the guys. Ole will work across here for Allison, and you're seeing World 13 with some great defense here, still holding them inside their 30, even on the last. We'll have to look to Bakers here to put in a better kick. It's charged down here. Play on is a call, though. It's not ruled as charged down, and he'll just have to get as many meters as he can as it's tackled right on his own 40.
I think that's the hit the back of his head as he turned around to chase the kick. Really lucky there for the world team. He turned around and made that tackle.
Yep, and, well, I mean, lucky that they also got the no 6 more call there as well, but same token, Bakers also gets a little bit lucky there with being able to reclaim that ball, because that could have easily spilled back over his head and meant that they were digging deep out of their own territory on that last tackle and still got it up to the 40. So fair play on the effort here, but here goes Slattery. Now we're able to work it out inside the 10. Here goes Riff. Riff just got it out there for Iron. He's tackled just short of the line. And a great last-second stop there by Murray. They're having to race back here. Quick rubber kick claimed here by Lee. Lee might try and go for the distance here, but he's quickly cut down by Morrison. And a quick breakaway there, and Mark Lee got him right out of trouble.
Yeah, that was some good desperation defense there off that kick. One more bounce, and that would have landed into a World 13 hands player, and it would have been for sure a try.
Yep, so that one would have almost certainly given World 13 the lead, given the position of where they would have scored it as well. Here is Diab. Diab will look for a late ball here for Mansour, trying to get one across to his former Panther teammate. They'll be able to gain the line, and Luke Thompson did not get back. Probably could have called that one for milking a bit, but he also plays with the ball, so referee had no choice there but to call that one a penalty as well. Second one given away here by the World 13 in this first fifth of the game.
That was some really smart play. Mark Lee realising that Luke Thompson was offside and threw the ball directly to him.
Yep, and well, a bit of a brain fade from Thompson as well to play that one, but there's a great intercept from Slattery as he fends off Murray and nearly breaks himself free as well. They'll be able to get themselves right back into it. There's Thompson there. Oh dear, that's a poor ball, and it's been ruled a knock on. Intended to cut players out, but no one there. And ends up being a big giveaway there. Quick play the ball here from Australia as well. They were quickly on to wanting to force the issue here. They feel that World 13 are right on their heels here. Perhaps they can push through. They look to attack the edge there with Allison. McKinnon will fire it along for plays, and now Nilsson. Nilsson, the Scot, I'm sure will have some feelings about being left out of that Great Britain side, but will be happy to represent Australia A all the same. Kodar Diab to push his way through. Stopped there by Morrison, who's now playing up though. This means that Mansour could try and get it across for plays with a step, tries to push his way through, but tackled a couple short. Good effort by Murray there to hold him up. But he needs to get back on side, and does eventually. McKinnon for lead. Lee got it away for Guys. Was it clean? No, it was, and it was a knock on there, and I believe I'll rule no advantage, and so they'll pack the scrum because, well, reasons known only to God or man, and then, yep, that. I don't even know where to start with that.
Did he pick them up for offside then? Is that what that was?
Yeah, apparently they broke too early.
Oh, okay. That's an interesting.
So I guess you could call that. I think that you call that a differential penalty. It's just that, well, the engine that we use, I don't believe has the capabilities to do that. Of course, interchange is coming up. We expect to see Caleb Jeff and Filippo Gould on here for World 13. For Australia, it would be a former free agent now returning Daniel Engel, as well as Hayden Davis. I'll come on likely for Allison and Murray on the Australia A side, and Slattery and Remy. So just be on the lookout for that, as will probably happen on Australia's end first. See what they can do when they get those new middle forwards into the game. As here goes Morrison trying to attack the left side, takes on another former teammate in Mansour, and just about gets to the 30. Opens up the attacking options, but Windmill Ski just selects the punt here. We'll get it down to plays. And let's watch the benches here. Yep, off they come. Won't mean that they aren't going to really be in position though, so it'll be a tough time to dig out of it, and they rely on Diab to do so. He does well to do that. Outside the 20. Let's see if they activate them first. Mansour will be first away though. Is brought down there by Remy, who is remaining on the field for the time being. Here goes Nilsson. Nilsson forced back in the tackle, though. Good stop there. World 13 will force likely a 40-20 attempt here. Baker's off the side of a boot. It did get away from Rashford. It bounces up in the air. Morrison trying to take him to the sideline there. The kick chases, but nothing doing as does seem like Gould is trying to get himself in position, but here goes Rashford. Rashford on the inside. He's going to try and outrace Mansour. It does seem like he'll be able to cut him down, and eventually he does. Did force another missed tackle there. Someone went flying out to try and stop him. It was Mansour that wrapped him up. Thompson now to Morrison. World 13 now putting on yet another assault. Here goes Saddlecart. Out to Thompson, now to Gould. It has to be wrapped up by Mansour, but it's not the man that you really want up here. He's not square either. Caleb Jeff trying to force his way over, but he'll be held up by the looks. They will take a look upstairs, though. Let's have a look-see.
Certainly looked like he got turned over as we watched the video here, and he has. He's been rolled over onto his back. Good call from the ref, sending it upstairs to double-check.
Yep, have to agree. We also didn't really get much of an angle from the camera we were given, but thankfully the bunker has all the available angles for us to see, or for them to see rather, to make a informed decision as Joey Kelly there takes the bomb that was put up there by Windmill Skeed. That'll mean Daniel Engel could take a run, and he starts off well, trucking one player over, and his first touch nearly forced a penalty there out of Logan, guys, as he started to roll him over in the tackle. Here goes Nilsson now. He takes on Murray. Alongside the purple-haired Filippo Gould. Stands out quite well. Speaking of, here goes Mansour. Mansour now taking a Morrison. One really has won out in that battle so far. As Bakers will go to Davis, trying to force him to the right edge. Again opens up the options, given they're inside the 30. Might look to Bakers again. Oh dear, Engel's got in the way of it. He'll have to just try and make a run himself. He gets into the red zone, but he's quickly brought down.
So, Luke, the subs have been on for 5 minutes. Were they given any instructions when they came on? Obviously, a very close game we're watching.
Yeah, so your world All-Stars were given just to get in there and take some runs, get some good meters, help out their halves, make it up the field. As we see, the Australian subs were given similar instructions, just to make sure that they're also being good on the defensive side to cut down some of these line breaks that the World Stars are all getting.
Yeah, they were able to cut down Levi Raymond there. Force out an intercept, and now here goes Mansour. Mansour with a late ball out on a Gould tackle. Davis now getting plenty of yardage, though. Against the tackle of Tallis Riff. Here goes Engel again, taking on Gould. Wrapped up in a one-on-one, but does still get the head past the line. That'll force a quick play of the ball. Here goes Nilsson, another offload out for Diab. A lot of those late passes being thrown out now by Australia, and it's working out well for them so far. Where we do know what element of risk it carries. Here goes Engel on the last. Brought down quickly. A slow play the ball here as well, allowing them plenty of time to set themselves up. What does Bakers do? Bakers have a short little chip and chase. Cambola runs right onto it. Mansour might be the only one to cut him down, and he does. Just behind World 1340. Really had that one through, but here goes guys. Now Caleb Jeff, little inside ball there, but nothing really doing on that play. Brought down there by Davis. Here goes Windmill Skeed launching across there for Callum Murray. He's brought down just on halfway. Marker's not quite getting set. They won't take advantage of guys, however, will take advantage of Davis, just trucking him over. No love lost between those two. He plays it quickly for Raymond. Now Caleb Jeff. Caleb Jeff runs over one himself. Big impact being given there from World 13-4, so it's given them a great kicking opportunity. Or maybe they have to just run it. No, be a Windmill Skeed kick. It falls right into the hands of Creed Alex Chapman. Oh, nearly a cannonball tackle there. But thankfully, looks to be okay. It has ended up thwarting a chance for World 13 to break through their defense. Here goes Nilsson. Nilsson, oh, that's a poor ball. Rashford's cut it right back out. He beats Mansour and takes advantage. The Zambian's over and has equalized it up. And a kick to come might just put the World team in front.
And as we've seen all year, you can't be throwing intercepts to Miko Rashford. He is just explosive for the Knights on the wing, and he showed it today as how well he can play. Kate Nilsson probably should have just taken the tackle.
Yeah, well, I mean, taking the drunken Scott name perhaps a bit too literally there, throwing that ball out. Did create a strong run, but I think he's just forcing too much there. Could have easily taken this one on and helped set up further runs in the future, as it'll be a simple kick from Luke Thompson there. World 13 take the lead here. Just about a half hour gone in this game. Luke Short. Sure, the Australia A coach must be fuming right now, as is Riley Murray from that bench.
Yeah, Murray kicked the water bucket off the bench. He wasn't very happy about that intercept. And I was going to say about Rashford's try there, we have a small contingent of Zambian fans in the crowd, and they just went ballistic over that.
Yeah, it's great to see them travel out here as well. It must be one long flight out from Lusaka out here. Now as we hit the tick of a half hour, World 13 look to resume normal service. Here's Windmill Skeed taking a run here and getting a lot of strong meters there against a much larger Kodar Diab. Fair play on the leg drive there as, oh dear, Gordon lucky not to knock on there. Murray did end up regathering it, rolled backwards by the referee, and so play on tackle free. Gould out to Saddle Car. They look to attack this edge once more. They don't get it out to Rashford that time. There's a slow play the ball there. Doesn't allow the line speed of Australia A to come back up in numbers. Thompson just able to get inside the half as there goes Guys. Guys with a strong kick out to the wing of Kelly. Kelly is also dangerous from that wing as he steps one, but will run right into Morrison, but just gets past the 30 on that occasion. Good start though to this set, and Mansell will look to build on that as he's right by the fullback. Morrison misses. There goes Mansell. Right back only 3 minutes later. Australia take the lead back.
That was simply amazing. You know, they say the best set that you can have in defence is the one right after you score points, and clearly the World All-Stars have failed in that. Absolutely amazing run there too. So really, really good for Australian A's team to take the lead back straight away.
Yep, it was just created off the backs of their backs. It was Kelly that made the first run, got them a good start. It forced Morrison to be involved in the tackle, but didn't send anyone back in that last line of defense. That it meant Mansell could escape and outrun Morrison. And John Baker's there will make it 1 from 2 so far with a much simpler option, restoring their 4-point lead.
Yeah, and Luke, obviously Riley Murray's a bit happier on the sideline now.
Yeah, he definitely didn't go kicking anything just then for that try.
Yeah, a bit more perhaps of the thrashing arms, of the pumping of fists, rather than throwing the water bottle around, as Thompson will like to resume play with the left boot. That right side with Bakers and Dr. Wangord, who takes a hefty run right in there, guys. You could hear the impact from up here. Body-on-body contact. Bakers now to Alex Chapman. Alex Chapman leaking through there. Throws a late ball, nearly intercepted. Don't think that was touched. Yes, it's still tackle 2 there. Answer out for Ole. Oh dear, that's put down by Alex Chapman. Right off the back of a great break. It's Kevin World 13 right back into the forefront of this. Here goes Cambolo. Player that did put on a good run in order to stop for something early, but otherwise they've seen very little of. They've mostly targeted the right side of Rashford and also just generally the center channel. They haven't really tried to pressure many of the wings in this one. Here goes Gould. Gould with a strong run there against Diab and Lee. Raymond will force it out for Windmill Skeet. Short ball for Murray. Mansell comes right up there and lays a heavy shot. Good job from the fullback as well. Thompson, inside ball here for Morrison. Morrison a step. Mansell was out of position. And that's what happens when you take advantage of missed positioning. You break one out, you bring one right back in, and World of 13 tie things up with a kick to come.
Yeah, that was absolutely amazing there, Ollie. As I just stated just before, you got to be really good on your return sets from after scoring points, and as we've just seen again, they've certainly failed in that aspect.
And on that occasion, it was Engel who just got caught flat-footed. Another man missed. Diab tried to make a rescue tackle, but to no avail. Morrison just too quick there to get over the line as well. I did mention before, Cody Mansell came up to lay a hit on Callum Murray, but once again, it forced players out of position. We've seen that that's been the main thing. It's not been about getting these players and beating them straight up. It's about forcing them into where they're uncomfortable.
Yeah, and it creates a space. Obviously, the sidestep around a player there for Morrison obviously made a massive difference and certainly showed his speed off the mark. It should be really interesting. Now we've got 12-10, 5 minutes to go. Can Australia force a mistake and then get the ball back and go in front before the halftime?
Yep, I mean, we did see it's been back-to-back return sets that have been the cause of scoring. We'll see if that happens again. Here's Windmill Ski with a short ball out for Gould, and perhaps we'll see a late cameo from Allison or Murray. Wait and see on that front, as here's Raymond. It'll be Thompson with the early kick. It's not really intended for anyone in particular. Mansell just takes it cleanly, gets by Gould. Now beats Morrison. Does he actually have the juice? He's got plenty of support on his right edge, but he doesn't look to any of it. Perhaps did he want to throw that risky ball out with everyone running his way? And it does give him a chance to just set up here. Here goes Flynn. Flynn nearly over in the corner. But a good stop there on that left side. I believe it was Cambolo. As there goes Lee just quickly out. Oh, an intercept though. Lee couldn't handle it. It was just quickly into his hands and out, and it means guys can recover. And that chance goes begging. Here goes Gould again now. Tries to take on Mansour. This is a chance to break. We mentioned it's exactly what you need. Mansour's out of position. If you can force a line break here, if one of your speedsters, there goes Morrison. Mansour got back in time. Got a late ball out for Thompson, though. Here goes Thompson. It's still a change. Morrison and Mansour are still down at the moment. Mansour's just retreating back into position now. He was barely even on side. Has retreated back well into his in-goal area, but I'm sure that must be hell on his legs. Also brought the main forwards back on here for the World 13. Can they create an impact? Here goes Thompson. Stretching out the defense down the right side. Here goes guys out to Murray. Murray takes on Mansour. He's not going to be able to take a kick on this last play likely from Marker, but there's not a lot of space to work with here. Raymond out for Windmill Ski. Windmill Ski to kick for Riff. Got a late ball out to Morrison. But that'll be a handover, and provided there's no hero ball being played out here, this will likely take us to half-time. Here goes Alex Chapman, trying to at least give them a little bit of space to work with. Perhaps they can sprout one must run here on this last play. Here goes Diab, but no, here's well held there by Mason Remy. And that'll mean we go to the break. World 13 up 12-10. And welcome back to the second half of this World 13 versus Australia A game. Ollie Parcher, Luke Driscoll, and Luke Short with you. And Driscoll, it's been such a close battle so far, and it's really been a battle of the fullbacks. Morrison and Mansour with the most recent scores for both of them. Gave each team the lead when they had it, but World 13 now holding on to a slim margin.
Yeah, look, it's been a really close game, and what you've seen is the forwards really being able to create space for their outside backs, including their fullbacks. It's going to be really interesting as we get to see Davis now take a big run and offload it to Diab. What do you expect, Ollie, from this second half, and how they're going to make the difference?
I reckon most of it's just going to be about, letting those tired forwards wear themselves out here early on. Perhaps they could take advantage of that and then really try to spring Mansour and Morrison respectively. I think those two really hold the key in this one. They've been the ones that have been able to force their opponent out of position and get themselves over the line as a result. Luke Short, sideline. You do have the instructions that both of these teams receive it at halftime. What's the word from them?
Yeah, so I spoke to the captains of both teams. Australia, they're just talking about shoring up their defence, making sure that the World 13 can't make those big meters. Also making sure that they complete their sets. They've dropped a lot of ball in the last half that gave World 13 plenty of opportunities. World 13, similar instructions. They've just got to complete their sets. They've done so well so far. So completing their sets will go on a bit further.
Yeah, there's Sesso Di Mattoni there, helping get their set underway. Of course, this may be his very last game, Di Mattoni, as of course he has not signed with any club this season. It isn't expecting to, as Remy there is tackled on the last. Of course, we do get to see the first action for Sesso Di Mattoni in this one. There's a long ball all the way back for Wimmo Ski. Kind of forces him to take the punting option. It means that Kelly can start on a running edge. And there he goes. Joey Kelly now on the break. His might just go all the way with this one. He's going coast to coast. They're in pursuit. They won't catch him. Under the post. Australia get right back into it of their second set of this second half.
Yeah, we've seen Joey Kelly obviously do this before in the SRL, and he's pulled it off today. He's made the fullback there Superman dive towards him, and obviously the Australian contingent is going nuts down there, Luke.
Yeah, they're all cheering for that Kelly name, just saying that was a beautiful try from him, and the crowd's reacting to it.
Yeah, I believe he actually juked out Mark Iron there on that edge, and then as well, we got to see Jacob Morrison end up missing that tackle. I mean, really by Raymond, fair credit to the former New Zealand captain, did his best in defense, but couldn't make the stop. Of course, we do see Goku Simpson as well has been called into action. He replaces Josh Saddlecup. We do expect to see Saddlecup in the game later on, as well as we've seen Australia A bring on Callum Irwin and Marcus Square for similar roles.
Goku Simpson, largely underrated for what he did for Newcastle this season. I actually think he had a really good season this year, and I think he should be applauded for his effort that he showed throughout the SRL, and obviously the Knights making the grand final. He was a big part of that. As we see Davis again go on a line break and offload it to Bakers.
Yeah, Baker's just able to be wrapped up though, and I think that's something that we kind of touched on earlier. There's a lot of great Knights talent in this representative game. As Square now just able to keep it inside the lines. Yeah, we mentioned Diab, we mentioned just now Goku Simpson, as well as we've mentioned Mika Rashford. That's right, yes. So plenty of talent that we've seen thus far in Newcastle. Definitely getting a lot of representation from a team that finished 8th and nearly made the miracle run. Of course, being forwarded by the Storm. Gee, where have I seen that before? As there's a kick up high from Bakers. Flynn able to get underneath it. Was able to out-jump Cambolo on that occasion, but nothing doing. And Remy able to come over to make the tackle. Here goes Rex Slattery now. Taking on Diab. Just able to be brought down a couple meters into that post-contact. Here goes Remy now. He tries to take on the much more... I don't quite know exactly how to describe it, but let's just say the... I still can't think of a word. I don't know why it's escaping me, but Mark Lee definitely a lot more short in stature, but still with plenty of heart, as there's a holding down penalty given away. The first penalty that Australia have given away so far this game. So a chance for World 14 to perhaps rally and claim the lead right back after that early try, open things up.
Yeah, Mark Lee obviously largely goes... he gets ghosted for a lot of the Titans side, whereas he does all the right things, though. He'll consistently make lots of tackles from hooker, and I feel like he never gets the credit that he deserves because he's leading that Titans team, and that Titans team obviously had a good run for most of the season.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you need that glue guy, and I think Mark Lee absolutely provided that for the Gold Coast in their finals pushes. There's a good at taking advantage of a marker there. Simpson on his first run is quickly forced back in the challenge, though. Can they end up breaking into the red zone here with this one? They'll spread it out for Thompson, and now Windmill Ski. Not a lot of meters gained here, so very solid defense here from Australia as the World 13 try to spread it around. Mark Iron, the kicking option in this one, and he delivers a short kick into Kelly. And good tackle there by Hyan on his own kick chase. Cambolo, bit of a whiff there, but no harm, no foul, as Ole will take a run down the flank. Cambolo is so dangerous on edge tackles, but Ole just able to keep himself in field. Diab now out for Alex Chapman. He breaks off one tackle, tries to get through another, just pushing up to the 45 there before he's brought down. They won't look for a 40-20 option here. Instead, they'll spread it out wide. Ole to Bakers. He takes on DiMattoni. And DiMattoni just basically hogs him to the ground after some assistance there from Remy. I'll spread it wide here for Callum Irwin on his first run, and he gets about 35 out on the last tackle. For a punting option, crossfield kick here. Bakers trying to pick out Cambolo, and it's quickly onto a great kick chase there. Australia really trying to pile the pressure on here defensively.
Yeah, and it's good to see. We got to see a lot of line breaks in that first half, and hopefully both teams now can pull it together and have a solid game. As we just see the Jameson shuffle from Raymond, but he only makes it as far as the back end marker there.
Yep, Kavadar Diab was square on that occasion. He tried to take on the not square one, but Diab recentered himself well enough. Here's Windmill Ski with a great 40-20 attempt here, but the bounce does not favor him. It favors Mansour. It's pretty much bounced right into his chest, and a clean gather there. Mansour will play it for Flynn into acting half. Here goes Alex Chapman, but a great tackle as well there by Levi Raymond. Pressure being put on here now on the other end. Here goes Davis, though, nearly able to find himself a breakaway. But again, it's Raymond there involved. Lee out to Irwin.
Hayden Davis has been absolutely destructive on this field so far. Certainly doing a lot as we see him just run out.
Yeah, that was a poor effort there. I think Morrison just thought he saw a clean gap. Yeah, you just see he gets so fast on his horse. And I think his acceleration turned out to be not quite the death of him, but you see, look at how quickly he sprints out to try and gather that in. I mean, perhaps he didn't hear the call of outside from the referee, thinking maybe he's going to be able to 40-20 attempt and get back around quickly, but there's way too much speed coming in.
Yeah, probably not as easy as it looks. Like he took one step and the second step, so he wouldn't have been able to slow up quick enough. That was a big stride he took to take that ball, and we've seen what eventuated from that.
Yeah, I think he just needed to put the brakes on. He wasn't under that much kick pressure. Perhaps just thinking to do too much here, especially down 4. Here goes Flynn now. Flynn able to incise his way through the defense. Good stop there by Morrison. He's going to be first marker and only marker. Here goes when he takes on his opposite number and Tony. That will be brought down. Last tackle now for Australia A. Baker's he was quickly handcuffed there. And a good tackle again by Levi Raymond and forces the handover.
Yeah, Levi Raymond has actually had a really good game. Certainly scrambling really fast in defence. Obviously, he didn't catch that breakaway try, but he's certainly not giving up on this game.
Yeah, showing a lot of heart and a lot of effort. Of course, can't really fault him given how quick a lot of these fullbacks are. How quick Mansour was able to spring himself. Here's Raymond interacting half once more. He'll get it out to Morrison, but Morrison well brought down there by Davis. Given a lot of leniency there in that play of the ball, but nothing up getting up. Here goes Iron now from the centers. Now getting big breakaway. Just got to pass away Windmill Ski. Perhaps forced one too many, but he got it out to Cambola just barely. That's not 25 meters gain. I don't know what they're talking about. Cambola will play it just outside the 10 of Australia. Raymond aiming right for that post, and it's well taken by Morrison under the post. Gives a World 11 the lead, very likely.
Wow, what a try there for the world team, but in that play prior, I would have sworn there was at least 2 forward passes there, and I think they've been pretty lucky, but what a try. Absolutely amazing try, and Morrison definitely won that collection, and he deserved every part of that because he's been trying non-stop all game. Hey, Luke, what's the sideline like?
Yeah, they were just on that try. He used that post to perfection. It sort of blocked the view and got a good jump chase to it.
Yeah, I thought Justin Place had that one for all money, and that was my initial call. And then I realized Morrison was coming down with it and did very well there to be able to corral that one and get it down quickly. Could have very easily been held up in goal. And Plays decided to play the man and not the ball, but I mean, you just saw where he was running in from. Plays is basically trying to make sure that he sees a ball around that post, around that big protective padding that's there for player safety. I mean, it would be rather dangerous for Morrison to come springing out of there like a thief in the night, but it's exactly what he did. And he did it to perfection. Wild 13 now taking this 2-point lead here. Will very likely look to bring on some fresh legs here in this forward pack. Probably the last we'll see of Mason Remy, but we could also come in on lock forward for the final 15 minutes. Here goes Riff now through a gap. Mansour having to come over in coverage. Instead to bring him down before he infringes on their territory. Raymond flat ball there for Slattery, and now Cambola with another dive. Got away from Mansour, but then it tried to force an offload away as it was good coverage defense there from Creed Alex Chapman. Raymond now out for Dimatoni. Dimatoni caught flat-footed. Got a late ball away from Slattery there, though it looked to be like he was free out. Let's see if they can muster something here. They are in good spot to launch an attack. Here goes Windmill Ski. Go grab a kick. Right through for Morrison. Gets by Mansour. And right back in, the World 13 take a 6-point lead right at the stroke of the hour.
That was an amazing bloody try. Morrison absolutely killed it just there. He's got a quick double. How can you fault this world team? They've shown themselves to be able to outmuscle and out-arm wrestle the Australia team at this point. Very unfortunate for Australia because they were winning that arm wrestle for large parts, but they failed to capitulate on the space and time advantage they had in the world team's end.
Yeah, and also that was Joey Kelly breakaway there from Jacob Morrison actually having a natural hat trick. For those of you who aren't aware of that terminology, this is something I've learned from the world of ice hockey. A natural hat trick is when you score 3 tries in a row uninterrupted. Morrison, of course, did have that try in the first half of a run, did get that second try off a collect, and then gets a third try off of that kick. So the last tackle option has been Jacob Morrison, and it has worked out immensely for them as they now hold an 8-point lead, a 2-possession lead, and basically get to bring on their fresh legs by the looks of things uninterrupted.
Yeah, you're absolutely right there, Ollie. The first half, I just 2 very quick tries for Morrison. Very, very tough on the Australia A squad. How do you contain Morrison, though?
Well, I mean, we've seen that basically what they've tried to do is get Mansour flat-footed. He needs to be, I think, further up in defense. Let him just basically be his marker. As there we see him, they just come right back up, play a hit on, let his defense try and regather themselves. But he was able to break through again. It was Tony there, throws a poor ball, and it's intercepted by McKinnon. Did come off earlier, of course, in place of Marcus Square, who's now taking about left centre role. We might see him get involved here. No, instead it's Callum Irwin. Tries to sneak through, but a good challenge laid there by Simpson just before halfway. Here goes Allison now back onto the field. His tackle just shy of a 40. Really getting to see them go through. Here's Mansour now, though. He might be able to beat Morrison as well, but he just gets across. Down just inside the 10, but is caught holding down. It's going to be the tap option here. A fresh set of tackles here for Australia A. Can they take advantage of it? Here goes Diab, taking on Sesso Dimatoni once more. He has remained on the field. So clearly he wasn't put into that front row in spite of the fact that he's taken several runs. Ole now, he takes on the line, but can't quite bust through. McKinnon might try and do so here, but he'll be turned upside down. We'll just double check this to be absolutely safe, but it does seem like we're able to bring him down without the ball touching the ground, and Bunker just has confirmed that.
Mansour coming in. Mansour coming in there, assisted in the rotation as we get to see Australia again come at the world's line.
Wasn't it? Mansour's on Australia.
Yeah, Morrison, sorry.
Yeah, here goes Mansour, though. He gets through a tackle and gets over, has cut the deficit in half, and a kick might just make this a 2-point game.
That's absolutely crazy. It is the game of the fullbacks in this game so far. How do you stop each of them? They're both playing really, really well. It's going to be interesting, the last 15 minutes of this game, who comes out on top. Hey, Luke, what's it like on the sideline?
Yeah, there was a very strong Morrison chant to that point just then. Now the crowd's sort of died down a bit. I don't know if there was a bit of confusion with the interchanges or not. We've got a few players still on the bench, I believe.
I'll have to wait and see here. Perhaps it's just because they haven't been able to gather themselves into a clean offensive set just yet, but we'll have to wait and see. I do believe most of the players that are on are meant to be on, but perhaps we'll see one last final interchange in these 15 minutes. As here's Mansour taking the mark himself. He'll leave it off for McKinnon. McKinnon will try and make a driving stop, but just brought down there by Raymond. Trying to watch here to see if anyone has left for the bench. Yes, there's Riley Murray coming on now, it seems. Seemed like he'd have left already. Has, in fact, got himself set and is ready to try and make one last captain's knock here in his final 15 minutes to get his team over the line. Lee fires it out here for Irwin. Irwin just able to get past the 40. This seems like prime kicking territory for George Bakers. And he will do just that. But he took a hit for his trouble. He was outside the line. Cambolo just able to step by Flynn. Well brought down there in the end. Now they'll make one change of their own. As oh dear, is that... Yes, that is a World 11 offside. They didn't have... Sorry, World 13 offside, rather. I got too much on the mind. But that will result in a penalty given away. Great call there by the referee, keeping a watchful eye on things, and means that Australia get a set in World 13's red zone.
Certainly a dangerous situation to be in. Australia definitely have the strike power to score here. It's not over yet. A long way to go. Hopefully we get to see some more points put on the board.
Yeah, I mean, I've always taken the stance of points per minute, and you round that down from 6. As here goes Irwin. He's trying to crash over here. They will have a look at this one as well. It's hard to tell from our vantage point whether he does get this down, but no, Murray did end up upturning him. That's Callum Murray. Also, we will not get him and Riley Murray confused. Not on my watch, at least. We'll have to play the ball on tackle 3. Bakers sends a crossfield ball out to Riley Murray, but his pass was too rushed. Rolled forward to Mansour. Could have really sprung him there, but it did seem like Mansour was being wrapped up in the meantime, so tough break there for Australia. A chance to attack. Got themselves a couple of opportunities. Might end up being able to spring one there.
Yeah, and guys has been quiet so far in the second half, and so is Coda Diab. Very interesting to see that at the moment what we're seeing is the big forwards hitting them up. As we get to see Morrison go on a break and Raymond take and offload to Raymond, the locks has become bipartisan, wouldn't you say, Ollie?
Yeah, I would have to agree here. I mean, it's been Diab and guys who have been trying to compete here mainly, but of course, I believe both of them are off at this point. Let's see Cambolo try to take a run down the center channel, but ended up stopping in his tracks. Oh dear, I think they're going to lose sight of this one. No, Joey Kelly takes it just in the field of play. Right into a tough challenge, though, from Talus Riff, and that's going to be McKinnon trying to bring it up here. Last 10 minutes, and still all to play for here. Here goes Riley Murray. Murray busts through one tackle, tries to spread it away from Morrison. Got an offload out to Allison, though we'll advise that's a hefty challenge. It basically dragged them down 5 meters of where they would have been. Here goes McKinnon now. He tried to drive up to the 40. Again, this looks like prime territory. Rashford is up, and so here, they will try and take that kick on here. Do they force Morrison into touch? He's done it again! Oh, dear me. Jacob Morrison runs into touch once more, trying to stop a 40-20 attempt. And as such, just means again, he's just trying to take that turn too quick. You don't have a zero turning circle.
Yeah, and as we've seen the last time this happened, Australia A scored. So very dangerous set here for the world team. But Riley Murray's run just then, fantastic run. Unlucky that there was no backup, and the only backup he had was tackled very pretty much where he caught the ball.
Yeah, well, I mean, it was more than that and then some. I think it was driven back of a tackle. There goes Allison, who was just able to regather it. Here goes Riley Murray once again, just trying to drive against Raymond, nearly to the line, but tackle just shy. Lee, that's a risky ball, but it finds Callum Irwin, and with under 10 minutes left, Australia have hit the front.
And the 2 times that Morrison runs over, it leads to the Australian A scoring. That's absolutely insane. And look, they're in front by 2 now. What are they like on the sideline, Luke? I hear a lot of noise.
Yeah, the crowd went wild after that one. We've got a game on our hands here.
Oh, there must have been an absolute uproar from the Australia bench. Also be a fair bit of despondence, but with 8 points, or 8 minutes rather, and 4 points in it, there's definitely a chance of this game to swing either way. Of course, one must be thinking about that kick that John Baker's had to take from the sideline. Had he converted that, this would have been a clean 6-point lead. We might have been looking at extra time, but of course, if someone goes over the corner for the World 13, you never know. Luke Thompson would have a very difficult ask if he has to. He puts his left foot through that one once again. Will end up taking a run up himself.
If you're the Australian A team, do you play it safe from here, complete your sets, put it deep in territory, or do you chance your arm and go for another 6?
I think with the game state right now, I'm playing it safe here. We've seen how much Morrison can make a mistake. If you're kicking for the sidelines, you probably end up with more rewards than you do if you just decide to kick it down the central channel. It's going to be a tough ask here. Will Baker elect a kick from this angle? He does not. He fires out to Ole, and now Mansour. And Mansour gets himself on a break. It'll force Morrison to make a tackle. That'll mean they're kicking to a winger. It means he can't make a kick return. They'll have to rely on Rashford or Cambolo. Rashford looks to be moving into that spot. Then has to move quickly over to his other wing. Now he makes a step, though. Mansour's going to have to come over quickly in coverage defense. He doesn't even need to do that, though. That's a great catch-up tackle there from the kick chasers on that left side. I believe Marcus Square was. Here goes Luke Thompson, though. Mansour has to get involved again. It means that now they're right back on that back foot. Just over 5 minutes left in this one. Goku Simpson out to Morrison. Left wing of Rashford. Rashford a step. Can he beat Mansour? Not quite. It's going to be wrapped up just shy of the line. He nearly got the leg drive through, but had to be tackled in the process. Slattery forced back in the tackle. A big, strong one. And they need that. It means that they have some time to reset. Murray now against Mansour and the other Murray. Riley turns Callum overhead. It means that it will be held up here. And we'll just double check that. A soft signal of try given. actually pretty close there. I don't blame him for that sign, but definitely held up in that tackle. So now they
I
have
think
to
it was
reset here with time off. 4:23 to go. They'll go to Windmill Skeed. Windmill Skeed takes a run on. Not the play design. And a handover given away.
that's unlucky. Actually, I think the ref sent it upstairs. But as we get to see Mansell going on a break here, he gets to the 32-metre line. The elbow came down that was holding the ball, but the ball doesn't touch the ground.
Yep, I mean, sometimes it's just your own self that can be the fault. As now here goes Australia A. Likely probably the last attacking set. They still have to wait and see. It might be their last chance at points. They might look at the one-pointer here potentially. Given their positioning right now, it would mean a 5-point lead, so they'd have to convert the try, and it would mean possession. Flynn has centered themselves right up. Where are Bakers and Ole positioning themselves? Pretty much right in front of the sticks. Ole doesn't elect to do that. Instead elects a crossfield kick for Rashford, and Rashford is tackled well. Perhaps the last roll of the dice. There's still 2.5 minutes left. They shouldn't try and play too much hero ball here as they spread it wide here for Logan Guys. He's brought down there by Riley Murray. Raymond out for Windmill Skeed. He fires for an intended inside cut for Riff, but he's quickly brought down. Less than 2 minutes now. Windmill Skeed out to Morrison. Here goes Jacob Morrison right up against Mansour. Gets a little bit more of the legs moving, but Mansour thwarts him. That's been the matchup we've looked at before, and they nearly got it again. Here goes Simpson down to the flank, and they're not quite in position for anything. What do they elect to do? It's back to Rashford. Oh dear, an absolute meal has been made of it. Slattery has to pick it up himself. There's a minute to go and it's going to be tackled. Australia might get away with this one.
Yeah, there's 55 seconds left, so you want to hope that Australia just holds the ball if they want to win this game. If any mistakes, certainly those few tackles left, World 13 could definitely score.
Yep, and it's very low-risk football now from Australia A. Just electing to run it up the center corridor. Here goes Allison, though. He finds a gap, doesn't elect to throw anything out. He knows they're in front. Morrison brings him down. The crowd is counting down. Oh, will fire it out for Justin Play. He keeps it in field. Not that it mattered. Australia A comes away with a tough but hard-fought win, 28-24 over the World 13.
Fantastic match, really closely contested too. I think the score is deserving of what we've seen so far. A bit unlucky for the World All-Stars there that they certainly had their opportunities to put that game to bed.
Absolutely. I mean, Jacob Morrison with a hat-trick. Surely very little can be faulted of his individual performance, but just didn't have the rest of his team try and pull a lot of that workload. I mean, they held a majority of possession in that game. They were definitely better in terms of completing their sets, but a few times they couldn't get over the line, and Australia A ends up coming away with a massive victory. And will definitely help the Australia main side get pumped up themselves for their Trans-Tasman test coming up as we take a look at some of the meters gained for some of our players. We see Miko Rashford only got 8 runs that game, but still put up over 200 meters with 6 line breaks. Incredible work there.
Instrumental.
Go on.
Yeah, instrumental player. Miko Rashford, though, again, would be underrated. Like all year this season for the Knights, absolutely been outstanding. There was never a game that he played bad, and he showed it here that he can produce even in the world stage. Continue, Ollie.
Credit to Talis Riff as well, 155 meters out of that second row, number 11 spot. Jacob Morrison, 168 too. And one other point as well, Bunty Campolo, 3 missed tackles to only 1. Definitely have to say that the tackling from those outside backs wasn't quite up to standard. Of course, those 4 penalties given away, 1 by Morrison, Thompson and Windmill Skeed and Guys. Well, I mean, credit where credit's due. Rashford also didn't miss a tackle, which I think is quite rare for a lot of outside backs.
Yeah, look, cannot fault Rashford, and I think he was their best player.
Yeah, and then, of course, Callum Murray, 29 tackles and 0 misses. We flip over to Australia A. Well, I mean, Cody Mansell, who else would it be? 285 meters and 2 tries to boot. Kelly as well from the number 5 spot, 5 runs for 131. Kane Nelson 106. A very quiet game, but very solid game. Also notched himself a try assist. The scoring was far more spread out, rather, with Mansell the double, and then Kelly, Irwin, and Justin Plays getting over for each side. And credit as well for Mansour and Lee and Creed Alex Chapman. Kodar Diab, 20 plus tackles made and only 1 or 0 tackles missed.
Yeah, but still very quiet on the attacking front. I think the world team certainly had his number when it came to him running the ball, because we know how destructive he can be for the Knights throughout this season. Followed up by that, like, really good game from Bakers and Kelly. Can't fault either of those, but Mansell by far carried the most of this team to the win here today.
And while John Baker, I believe, was the only player who was kicking the first half, but we did get some strong kicks out of Ole near the end there. Of course, Riley Murray finishing 3rd in kick meters thanks to the water bucket he'd kicked over earlier in that first half due to that poor giveaway. But they made it up in the end, and Australia A come away with a big victory on the curtain raiser. Hope you stick around here as well for what will be a huge Trans-Tasman test coming up. For Luke Driscoll, Luke Short, and all of the SRL staff and crew, I've been Ollie Parcher, and we shall see you next time.